was one of those warm, sticky nights in the suburbs of Austin, the kind where the crickets sang louder than the hum of the air conditioners, and the neighbors' porch lights cast long, yellow halos across manicured lawns. Michelle Harper sat alone in the living room, her glass of white wine untouched on the coffee table. Her husband Gregory should have been home an hour ago. The grandfather clock ticked, steady and heavy, like a heartbeat that didn't belong to her anymore. When the knock came at the door, she startled so hard the glass nearly slipped from her hand. It was Sarah, sweet Sarah from next door, with her floral robe pulled tight around her. Her hair was messy, eyes wide. Michelle, Michelle, you need to come outside. Something's happened. In your garage. The wine glass finally fell, shattered on the hardwood. They ran together through the humid night, across the driveway. The garage door was half open, spilling cold light onto the driveway. Inside, Gregory lay slumped beside the front bumper of his immaculate black truck. There was blood on the concrete. His eyes were open, staring at the ceiling, but he wasn't looking at anything anymore. Michelle's scream ripped the quiet street apart. Sarah held her so tightly it hurt. And somewhere down the street, a dog barked at the darkness that had settled, once and for all, inside the Harper house. The police came quickly, blue and red lights flashing, making the quiet neighborhood look like a crime show set. Neighbors watched from behind curtains. Michelle barely registered any of it. Detective Henry Sloane was the first to speak to her. Mid-50s, with a tired face and a soft voice that didn't match the sharpness in his eyes. "Mrs. Harper," he said gently, "can you tell me what happened tonight?" Michelle shook her head, tears making her voice small. I I don't know. Greg was late. I was waiting, and then Sarah knocked. She found him." Sloane nodded, taking notes. "And Sarah, she lives next door?" "Yes," Michelle whispered. "She's our neighbor. She she came to get me." Sarah stood nearby, arms crossed, face pale. She spoke up, voice trembling just enough to sound sincere. "I was letting my dog out, and I heard something, like a loud thump. I thought it might be nothing, but I looked over and saw the garage door half open. It didn't feel right." Sloane wrote it down without looking up. "And did you go inside?" Sarah hesitated. Number I called Michelle first. By morning, the news had spread. Gregory Harper, respected business owner, dead of a gunshot wound in his own garage. The official word was suicide at first, but that changed quickly. There were details. The angle of the shot didn't fit suicide. There were no fingerprints on the gun except Gregory's, and a smudge. Gregory had insurance, but not enough to suggest a motive for Michelle. Still, the rumor mill spun. Michelle had been seen at lunch with a colleague, Michael Turner, a handsome man with an easy smile, a man who wasn't her husband. Detective Sloane called Michael in. "How well did you know Gregory?" he asked. Michael shifted in his seat. "We'd met. Not well." "And Michelle?" Michael hesitated just a moment too long. "We worked together." Sloane's eyebrows twitched. "Work and?" Michael said nothing. Michelle barely slept. Her mind ran in circles. She knew Gregory had started to suspect something, the way he looked at her the last few weeks. She and Michael had tried to be discreet, but guilt leaves its own kind of scent. Sarah came by often, bringing coffee, staying late. "Are you okay?" she'd ask, her hand lingering on Michelle's shoulder. "You shouldn't be alone." At first Michelle was grateful, but soon something about Sarah's kindness felt heavy, suffocating. Then came the small things. A text from an unknown number. He deserved it. A pair of gloves Michelle had never seen, tucked into her laundry. The nagging sense she was being watched. One evening, Michelle found Sarah in her backyard, standing by the fence. I thought I heard something, Sarah explained quickly. I was checking on you. Detective Sloane called again. We've been looking closer at your husband's last days, he told Michelle. Did he know about you and Michael? Michelle's heart stopped. I I don't know. Sloane's look was tired, almost sad. Neighbors said Gregory was acting strange, changing locks, watching you. Michelle's voice shook. I never wanted him dead. I believe you, Sloane said softly, but someone did. Meanwhile, Michael's alibi, he'd been at the office, started to crumble. No cameras showed him there. His phone had been near the Harper's Street. Michelle confronted him. Tell me the truth, Michael. Did you... No, Michael swore. I would never. I loved you, but I didn't kill him. Michelle couldn't sleep. Every creak in the house made her skin crawl. The memories of Gregory's cold eyes haunted her dreams. Sarah kept coming by. Too often now. She brought food Michelle didn't eat, sat too close on the couch. Once Michelle woke up and found Sarah asleep in a chair by her bed. One afternoon, Detective Sloane called again. Michelle, I need you to come down to the station. When she got there, Michael was already in an interrogation room. He looked broken, tired eyes, hollow cheeks. Sloane stood by the window, arms folded. He says he didn't do it, Sloane said, but you should hear this. He pressed play on a recording. Michael's voice shaking. She told me she'd handle it. I thought she meant talk to him. I didn't know she meant kill him. Michelle's mouth went dry. Who? Sarah, Sloane said. He says Sarah knew everything. She was threatening him to confess, or she'd tell Gregory herself. Michelle felt the floor tilt under her. She remembered Sarah's lingering touches, the late-night visits, the watchful eyes. That night, Michelle sat alone in her dark kitchen. Sarah would come. She always came. She left the back door unlocked. An hour later, there was the creak of the screen door, soft footsteps on the tile. Sarah's voice, low, almost tender. Michelle? You're sitting in the dark again. You shouldn't be alone tonight. Michelle didn't turn. Did you kill him, Sarah? Silence. Then a soft laugh behind her. You know, Sarah said, voice sweet as poison. I really thought you'd thank me. He treated you like glass, watched you like you were his property. And that man, Michael, he would have ruined you too. Michelle turned to face her. You killed my husband because you loved me? Sarah stepped closer, eyes wide and wet. I love you. I always have. He didn't deserve you. Neither does Michael. She reached out, fingertips brushing Michelle's hair. Michelle flinched. You ruined everything, Michelle whispered. You made me a murderer in their eyes. No, Sarah said softly, smile spreading. I freed you. Outside, red and blue lights bloomed against the kitchen window. Sarah froze. Michelle met her eyes. Steady now. I called them. I told them you'd come. Sarah's lips twitched. She opened her mouth to speak, but behind her the door burst open. Two officers moved in fast, rough hands pulling Sarah back. Her calm cracked. She screamed, kicked, cursed Michelle's name. I did it for you. For us. He was poison. You owe me. You owe me. The officers dragged her away. Michelle sank to her knees on the cold tile, listening to Sarah's voice echo off the quiet houses outside. A month later, the Harper house was for sale. Michelle packed her life into boxes she never thought she'd fill alone. Michael called once. She didn't answer. Detective Sloane came by with final paperwork. He stood at her door, hat in hand. You're free to go wherever you want now, he said. Michelle smiled, a small, tired thing. Funny thing about freedom, she said. "It never feels how you think it will." When she closed the door behind him, she didn't look back. Outside, the neighbors watched from behind curtains, and somewhere, under the hum of crickets and porch lights, a whisper still lingered next door.